I feel like they should go all out with things they can show with its erotic themes. The three-way relationship is just, come on. I mean, you gotta explore that just a little bit. You know, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, John?
As long as, yeah.
This one scene is all I want, see?
You make a great producer.
Yeah. What's going on, Reject Nation? Greg Alba here.
And John here.
So we just watched the trailer for Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman trailer #1. Boy, oh boy, plenty to discuss actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was fascinating looking at many aspects to it. I mean, obviously the trailer, the main emotional component of it is the polyamorous relationship. Him getting to have unlimited threesomes with these two people.
No difficulties whatsoever.
No difficulties whatsoever. It's just
Life
a joyride the whole film. Yeah.
Secret is you just don't care that much. You know, you get 2 chicks. It's great.
But it seems like there's a lot of emotion. Like we mentioned in our reaction, we've known people who have been in polyamorous relationships. Sounds like you know people who have made it work. I've known people who it was devastating for them that went on for a long time. I like seeing a movie that, there's other movies that have done it, but I like seeing a movie that explores it. But I think what makes it exceptionally fascinating was this is the guy who made Wonder Woman. You know?
Yeah. And the polygraph machine.
And the polygraph machine.
Which has got to be a weird household to live in.
And it makes you, and the way the trailer does it, by the time it ends, you know, asking does he have a secret identity, kind of makes him out to be like a little bit of a manipulator in a way. You know, he's talking about people are happier when they have an authority to be submissive to, and he mentions that line in the movie. A loving authority to be submissive to. This is coming out at a very interesting time, not only because the Wonder Woman movie just came out, it was a phenomenal hit, all the talk about feminism, which has been around for years already, especially now where I feel like people in media are much more vocal than ever about feminist rights, and which I do agree with. I think women are essentially equal.
Well, and feminism isn't just about women. It's about
all,
everybody.
no, feminism's about women being better than men.
Only that.
I believe that's the actual definition.
It's about killing as many men as possible.
There's a lot of false beliefs about what feminism is, that it's about equality and that men and women are equal.
Or that it's intersectional in any way.
Yeah, that's all false. It's about women being better than men.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like and subscribe. We're the
real racists. Well, when they're talking about in the beginning, because the trailer explores a pretty good amount. In the beginning, when there's already one element about, you know, him creating Wonder Woman and how comic books are not something that is respected being a comic book writer.
Yeah, I was curious about where... See, I don't know enough about the historical context to know where that scene came from, so I'm curious as to whether that's a real conversation or like a condensed something to communicate lots of ideas.
It's a subject matter that for sure existed, because I remember when all the interviews you'd seen with Stan Lee, when he would talk about making comic books, it was a joke back then. Just in Stan Lee's era.
For sure.
So I'm thinking, I'd like to see the time when, after this Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot has come out, and then you're seeing that, oh yeah, when people were making comic books back then, that wasn't, you know, something that people respected. Nowadays, you write a comic book, people are like, you're awesome, you know, but that's not the response you would get back then.
Yeah, it's like people would read the comics, but not, you weren't an artist.
And also the other thing too that I thought was interesting, when they were exploring, like, look at what Wonder Woman comic book is. It's violent, there's all these like degrading sexual acts and stuff. When they were showing that in the trailer, I thought it was fascinating, especially compared to today, what we view of what Wonder Woman represents, of being this strong, female, empowering character. How in this, like you said, we don't know if this was a legit conversation that took place, but for the female character to be questioning
Connie Britton?
Yeah, for her to be questioning Luke Evans, Professor Marston, saying, look how you're portraying women. Essentially, she's saying you're portraying them in a horrible light, in a horrible image. Well, that is not the image that we have of Wonder Woman today, you know?
Well, yeah, reading up on this story, I was actually surprised about that, because just, you know, BDSM was more taboo then than it is now, you know? And that was something I was surprised to learn, is that in the earlier Wonder Woman comics, I don't know if it's all, I don't know what the politics are, I don't know if it's degrading or not, I haven't read them, but I know that there was a kind of heavy slant toward BDSM-flavored content. And that's the thing that I took out of the whole, like, I wonder if you have a secret identity. I feel like the whole secret identity illusion is like this lifestyle of yours that's coming out through the stories.
Yeah.
Because that whole thing at the beginning where he's talking about, like, people are most happy when submissive to a benevolent, authority of some kind, and then the relationship he has at home with his wife and his mistress, like, or their, I don't know what you call everybody in a situation like that. I felt like that was it. It's sort of like, are you a deviant, sir? Are you doing these strange things in your own time?
And he totally is, you naughty professor. It
Naughty
kind of reminds me of Kinsey in a little way.
I can see that.
Well, yeah, Kinsey was about a professor, it was a period piece, and it was all about sexual exploration. While this whole story is not only about sexual exploration, there's a good amount
through line.
Yeah, definitely. And that relationship does look fascinating to me. I mean,
totally.
While the Wonder Woman comic book origins is exceptionally fascinating, I think it is cool to focus specifically on who this guy was and the relationships he had, because it's not only about Wonder Woman. And at first when I heard Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman as the title, I thought, what a marketing title. Like, that's what I first thought. But after seeing the trailer, I think it's kind of a clever title, actually.
Oh yeah, because I mean, isn't it widely regarded that he kind of based her off of them?
Yeah.
Again, took a lot of inspiration and probably a lot of input. I almost feel like at this point there would probably be a lot of like, I wonder how much they kind of wrote Wonder Woman, as opposed to him. But yeah, I feel like it's a fitting title, and I feel like the movie, at least what we're getting in this trailer, seems like it's presenting a good balance of like, yeah, this is the story of the guy who created Wonder Woman, but it's also an integral part of that story is also this atypical relationship that he has and what their life is like, and that's kind of fascinating to me. And I hope, like, for me, a movie like this at the end of the day all comes down to execution, especially the script. I tend to trust Annapurna when their name is on stuff. They've released
Genesis.
Yeah, they've released a couple things lately that have made me wonder, but generally I like what they tend to do, and as long as this isn't written like a TV movie, I think this could be really good.
I don't think so. I feel like this movie's going to be a lot edgier and more controversial than the trailers play on, and I feel like it should. I feel like they should go all out with things they can show with its erotic themes. I'm interested to see the turmoil that does take place when you have one of these kinds of relationships,
And explore that in a movie. Yeah.
I like the touch of Rebecca Hall saying, I think I'm drawn to her because you're drawn to her, like you love someone so much, and it's kind of like this dark lust that you're feeling. At least it's portraying it in that way. I'm not saying it's always that way if you happen to be in one of those relationships, okay? I'm saying that the way the trailers make it out to be is it seems a little bit on the darker side of what's evolving with these guys.
You can't get into a relationship with somebody without there being some difficulties and some unexpected things. And I think that's probably true. No matter how many people you add, you'll just get a little bit more of that each time you add somebody to it. It's like relationships are weird, love is weird in general. We still fight all this time to define what it is. Two people, an extra person, who knows? And I hope that that's what this movie kind of digs into, and it'll be in the confines of their actual life, hopefully. It's about time we do something a little out there.
Seriously, baby, if you're watching, the key to success, clearly the professor has figured it out.
He created Wonder Woman.
We need another woman.
They created Wonder Woman.
We create our female superhero now. Wonder Greg Nita. Now people are going to think I'm dating Anita because of this.
Well, that's okay. You just add more false information to the narrative.
And that's what I do.
See where it goes.
Well, guys, comment below. Are you in a polyamorous relationship? If you are, tell us all the good details. That's what comment boxes are for. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. John Humphrey on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to check out our exclusive perks and rewards over at patreon.com/TheRealRejects. Would love to have you join the polyamorous community over there.
Yeah, we were all in a relationship together. It's weird at birthdays. Very expensive.